In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you the random data generator in Excel for different statistical distributions. Well, we have the possibility in Excel to generate data randomly by clicking on data and then on data analysis on this click button. But please, before, make sure that you have activated this button. This is possible by clicking with the right click here on customize the ribbon, and after we can hand over to add-ins and can click on Excel add-ins go and can activate here the analysis tool pack. And once we've activated here this application or this add-in, then we can work here with a data analysis. And there we can also find here the random number generation. We click on here on OK in this dialog, and a new dialog appears. And what we can do here is to work with different statistical distributions, such as the uniform distribution, but also the normal distribution, the binomial, Poisson distribution, and many more. As you can see, we have different distributions, discrete and also static distributions, and we can choose, for instance, a normal distribution. Then we can say already how many variables or number of variables we want to generate randomly, like for instance 1000 different variables. And then we can already set a mean, so this is the average of our data we generate. So let's come to an example, like we want to generate random variables for the size of humans, like for instance here by average 180 centimeters, and this is the average, and we also have a standard deviation, so it means the variance of it, like for instance 10 centimeters. And then we can already say where we want to have the results. So our output, we can say the output range should be in a new worksheet or even in a new workbook. This is possible, like saying here by clicking on new worksheet, or as well as a new workbook clicking. But we can also say in this existing worksheet, we can also place our result, like in cell R4, or I can say here on B4. Then I can click on OK here in this dialog, and as you can see, I already have here my results. But I want to transpose them, so I do not want to have it like this in this form, so I can press Ctrl and C, and after I can say I want to transpose it, and as you can see, I have it now in a different form, so the selected results I can remove like this, and after I can select everything by pressing Ctrl and A, as you can see. After, you can use a different shortcut, which is Ctrl Q. And with Ctrl Q, you can draw another chart, like clicking on chart. Then we can, for instance, use a line chart. But way better, in my opinion, is to click on more. Then we see already the recommended charts, and then to use a histogram. Why do we have to use a histogram? Well, with a histogram, we can also visualize the frequency of our data in different segments, as you can see here on the axis below. And this is a really great chart to already visualize our normal distribution. But this is not only possible for normal distributions, well, you can also do the same. So generate random numbers or random data for different distributions, such as also the binomial distribution. So let's have a look at it. We can also click on data, and then after on data analysis, and then you can also click on random number generation, and then you change it from a normal distribution to a binomial distribution, for instance. Then you can choose a p-value like 30% and a number of trials like 500, and then we can also say the output range should be here in cell B3, for instance. We can press OK, and as you can see, we have the results in the same or pretty much the same form, and then I can transpose it as well into this form, press Ctrl Q, and by the way, you can also just click on the insert and then go to the recommended charts, or directly go to the statistical charts, such as a histogram here. And then we can see here the distribution of a binomial chart. Last but not least, we also want to have a look at a Poisson distribution. Well, we can create another sheet in this workbook by clicking on this plus icon, but we can also use a shortcut for it by clicking or pressing Shift and F11. And as you can see, we generated here a new sheet. And in this worksheet, I can say I want to generate again random data here by clicking random data generation. And here I can change binomial distribution to a Poisson distribution. And I can say here that I want to generate as well 1000 different variables with a lambda parameter or factor of 5. So for instance, with an example, we can say that we have a shop, and in this shop, we expect that 5 customers will arrive in our shop per hour, and we have 1000 observations, and then we can already generate our distribution by clicking on OK. We can also transpose it here in a different form like this, as you can see, and then I can also remove the initial data by pressing Shift and space, and then I can remove those rows by clicking or pressing Control and minus. After, I can select everything by pressing Control A, and then I can press Control Q again in order to draw a chart, like also a scattered chart, which would be possible, but it's not that interesting to analyze in this way. So we want to see again a histogram like this, or we can also go to all charts, then we can see all visualizations in an overview, and we can also choose again a simple histogram. So as you can see, we can generate data randomly with different distributions like a Poisson distribution, binomial, or also normal distribution in Excel.